Bozy Ennis, the trainer and father of Jaron Boose Ennis, gives his thoughts on Terence Crawford and his performance against Canelo Alvarez.
Get the lights up.
Now, before the fight even happened, Bozy Ennis was one of the guys that was saying that Crawford could stop Canelo Alvarez.
He might stop you, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man.
Canelo Alvarez got one of the best chins.
Yeah, but hey, listen, he ain't been hit by Terence though.
Right? Bozy Ennis seems to be a big fan of Terence Bud Crawford, and for good reason, right? But Bozy Ennis gives his thoughts on the fight. Check out what he had to say.
What he mostly every round. If you want to give him 2 rounds, he give Canelo 2 rounds. Other than that, well, Terence was great, man. I told everybody they told me he can't beat him. I said yes, he can. I told everybody that.
Do you think he could have got the stoppage?
I think he could have got the stoppage. He'll tell you that if he had to sit down a little bit more. But I tell you, Terence can fight and he can box. And he can fight. He'll fight this side. He take chances, man. You know what I mean? And that's how you be great, man. He one of the greatest out there now. I think he's great. I think he's the best out there right now. I think he's one of the greatest, man.
That victory, did that put him up there with the Floyds, the Ray
Put him
Leonards?
right there with them all. You know what I mean? They told me he didn't fight everybody, nobody. He can fight whoever was in front of him, who was in that weight at that time, and he beat everybody. He's great. Simple as that.
And salute to YSM Sports Media for the interview. You guys go check out YSM Sports Media. Bozy Ennis seems to have a very different opinion than that of his son, Jaron Boose Ennis.
With this win, everybody saying Crawford elevated his status. He's the GOAT. Do you think this win puts him on Mount Rushmore or makes him a GOAT in boxing?
Everybody got their own opinion. So,
What's yours?
my opinion is I like who I like. You know, I like Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Bernard Whitaker. I'm liking Sugar Ray Leonard. I've been watching a little bit of Sugar Ray Leonard. David Tony. So they my top guys that I've been watching. You know?
Fair enough. Glad.
Who, in a lot of boxing fans' eyes, right, calling him a hater, a slick hating, low-key hating. You know, everybody saying that Jaron Boose Ennis is hating based off of his thoughts on the fight. It's total contrast from what his old man is saying, right? I mean, Bozy Ennis is feeling like most of us is feeling about it. Like, man, this dude is great. He went up there and he did this. He went up there and he did that. He's up there with the Sugar Ray Leonards. He's up there with the Floyd Mayweathers. You know, this is what most people are saying right now. But Jaron was like, man, nah, man, you know. But Jaron Boose Ennis, we got to give him his grace. He's entitled to his own opinion, right? Like everybody. He's entitled to his own opinion. But he shouldn't have carried his ass over there to try to help Canelo beat Bud Crawford. That's what he shouldn't have did, right? And then he came out and said he fell asleep and all that. Like, bro, all right, dude. You did all this work to go help Canelo beat Bud, because that's what it was. It wasn't about you just getting some work. You was trying to help him beat him, right? It didn't work out. Well, I was asleep anyway. Oh, well, you know, that's not my Mount Rushmore, right? And that's cool. That's cool, you know. But in a lot of boxing fans' eyes, I mean, they just waiting for Boose Ennis to say the wrong thing, and he tends to do this quite a bit. He says the wrong things, and the fans just sit here and wait for it. But his dad seems to say the right things, right? And Bozy Ennis seemed like a really genuine guy, and one thing he said was like he could box and he could fight. I mean, this is something that I've been saying. This is something that we've been saying for a long time about Bud Crawford. Like, look, man, in order to be able to beat this dude, you gonna have to not only be able to box, but you gonna have to be able to fight too, because he could do both, and he could do both very well. Some guys can only box. Some guys can only fight. Some guys could box a little bit. Some guys could fight better than they can box. Some guys could box really well. Some guys could fight a little bit, but they could box better than they could fight. But Terence Bud Crawford can do both pretty much about dead even. Really, really hard to beat a guy like that. And speaking of Canelo Alvarez, since we talking about this fight, I guess he underwent elbow surgery, so Canelo Alvarez probably won't be returning to sometime next year in 2026. But this is what Canelo Alvarez always does. You know, he fights in May and September. Those are Canelo days, right? So he's going to be rehabbing the elbow surgery, yada, yada, yada. You know, some fans, right, some of the more disgruntled Canelo fans who couldn't take a loss, right, like a champion, unlike their leader Canelo, who took the loss like a G, made no excuses. They're making excuses for Canelo Alvarez, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. Bozy Ennis got a really different opinion than that of Jaron Boose Ennis. Is Jaron Boose Ennis really hating, though? Could this be considered hating? I mean, I think a lot of fans, it's kind of, you can't say it's hating, but a lot of fans kind of see it as hating because they kind of see they've been following boxing for a while, so they kind of know, like, okay, yeah, dude, you kind of low-key hating, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I think the main reason why fans are saying he's hating because, well, he was in camp with the dude to help beat Bud Crawford, right? So if he never went to the camp and then maybe gave his opinion, it'd be a little different. But everybody looking at it as hating from Jaron Boose Ennis. But Bozy Ennis said, man, look, he went out there, it was 10-2. Fight wasn't close. You know, Terence Crawford, he's up there. He's great. And, I mean, when you think about it, we talked about it quite a bit, but, I mean, you could put Terence Crawford in any era, honestly. I mean, name 10 guys, right? I want you guys to go do some homework. Name 10 guys better than Terence Crawford. 10 guys. You can maybe name about 2 or 3, you know what I'm saying? But try to name 10. I don't think you can. And then you got to start asking yourself about the other greats, right? Name 10 guys better than Sugar Ray Leonard. Name 10 guys better than Floyd Mayweather. It's really, really, really hard to do, right? Name 10 guys better than Terence Crawford. It's going to be really, really hard to do, right? But Bozy Ennis gave his thoughts on the fight. He said that Crawford could have stopped Canelo, and we saw what happened towards the end of that fight. Crawford almost stopped Canelo. He almost stopped Canelo, bro, right? He literally almost stopped the dude, had Canelo wobbly. We never seen Canelo like this before. I don't know, man. Bomac said Crawford got about 2 or 3 fights left in him if he decides to continue boxing. He probably got about 2 or good 3 fights in him. And that's what we said on the live stream the other day. That it looks like, it appears to be that he has about at least a good 2 or 3 fights in him based off of what we see, right? Based off of what we see. It don't seem like there's no slowdown. It don't seem like he's losing that fire or anything. But I think the biggest obstacle now will be, okay, is this fight worth it for me? Is this fight going to motivate me and my team and everybody to do everything we did in the Canelo Alvarez fight and more? I don't think there's no fights out there like that right now at this particular time for Terence Bud Crawford. But maybe there's a Jaron Boose Ennis fight, right? But I don't necessarily believe that that's going to ever happen because Jaron Boose Ennis got to be willing to take a chance. And that chance is to move up to 168 pounds. Honestly, at this point, I don't think Bozy Ennis would allow it. I don't think Bozy Ennis wants his son in the ring anywhere near Terence Bud Crawford. If I'm honest, right? Jaron Boose Ennis may feel differently. He may say differently, but I don't think Bozy Ennis would necessarily want his son, not just his fighter, but his son in the ring with Terence Bud Crawford. I just don't see it. Wouldn't be a good idea. Even at 38 years old, Crawford is a guy who still looks like he could beat most guys out there. So, yeah, that's not the move for Jaron Boose Ennis. The move for Jaron Boose Ennis, get past Lima. Very impressive fashion, by the way. He can't be going to the decision with this guy. None of that. And it's not me saying this. This is what the universe is saying. This is what's going to happen if he don't go out there and stop Douglas Lima. I'm just calling him Douglas. You know what I'm saying? Like the MMA fighter from Bellator. Douglas Lima. Let's go out there and stop Douglas Lima in impressive fashion and very early in the fight. Boxer fans they're not going to give him no grace. Why? Because, well, they see this guy as a tune-up. Then when we look on the other side of things, guys like Devin and everybody else, Crawford, moving up weight classes, fighting champions and world beaters, and you kind of taking a tune-up. So this is what boxing fans is going to do, right? So he must look good against this dude. Make some shit happen at 154. Try to do it relatively quick if you really want a fight with a guy like Crawford, right? Because I think Crawford possibly could be interested in a Boose fight if Boose makes some more big moves, right? Go up to 54, beat Lima, get him out the way, try to hurry up and unify the division, make some noise. And then before Crawford is on his way out, maybe Boose Ennis can meet him at 160 or something like that. Maybe, right? I don't know. But if Boose Ennis is feeling a certain type of way, if Boose Ennis wants to still fight Crawford, I said, well, he knows what he got to do. However, I don't think Bozy Ennis wants his son anywhere near this dude after what he just saw happen to Canelo Alvarez. But yeah, man, Bozy Ennis has a very different opinion. But Bozy Ennis said that Terence Bud Crawford is great. But he said Terence Bud Crawford is one of the best of all time. That he's great. You know, he gave Crawford high praise for the performance. Total contrast from what Jaron Boose Ennis was saying, but these are two different individuals, even though they are father and son. They both have their own opinions of that fight. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.